Monday, Dave's all new with MTV's newlyweds Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey. And later this week, don't miss Matthew Broderick, Kristen Davis, and Ashton Kutcher. Now your local news.
Just ahead on KOVR-13 News, Democrats running for president rallying up some last-minute support to win the Iowa caucuses. And an Afghan businessman living his dream in the valley gives some warmth back to his homeland. Then a Northern California man tries to get some worldwide revenge on AOL junk mail. KOVR-13 News at 11 starts now.
For all of Northern California, this is KOVR-13 News at 11.
This time, we're going to have more votes than George W. Bush again. But this time, the person with the most votes is going to the White House.
Democratic candidates make their closing pitches before tomorrow's caucuses. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight, the four major Democrats running for president spent the day telling their supporters they've got what it takes to win the caucuses. The race could be one of the tightest in decades. Jennifer Miller has more from Des Moines, Iowa.
We are the union! Mighty, mighty union!
Congressman Richard Gephardt needs more than labor support to win Iowa's caucus. The four-way race is so tight, uncommitted voters could be even more mighty than the union.
My name's Dick Gephardt.
To win on Monday, Gephardt, Howard Dean, and Senators John Kerry and John Edwards have to win over undecided voters, like those eating at the Machine Shed restaurant, who aren't easily satisfied.
You're looking at the individual candidates, trying to decide which one could actually win.
And polls show 40% of Iowans who have picked a favorite cannot be counted on.
I'm so willing to switch.
It's a balancing act. Candidates must inspire undecided voters without overlooking their most loyal supporters.
Kerry, losing his voice,
Ladies and gentlemen,
called on veterans of war and Washington to speak for him.
He'll talk about health care. He'll talk about education. He'll talk about jobs.
Edwards hopes his Mr. Congeniality-like campaign and an endorsement by Iowa's largest newspaper will help.
We're going to change America tomorrow night. You and I together. Yes, we are.
Despite losing his lead in the polls, Dean traveled south to Plains, Georgia, where he attended church with former President Jimmy Carter. Back in Iowa, Dean's wife, who rarely campaigns for him, joined the trail. A last-ditch effort to bring in women voters just hours before the caucus. Jennifer Miller, KOVR-13 News.
And the next big political prize for Democratic candidates is the New Hampshire's first-in-the-nation primary. It's set for Tuesday, January 27th. President Bush is planning to cover American jobs and education in this Tuesday's State of the Union address. The White House is expected to unveil a $120 million program to help community colleges train workers for high-demand jobs. Details will likely come during the speech or on Wednesday when Mr. Bush visits a community college in Ohio. Employment will likely be another issue. The U.S. has lost more than 2 million jobs since Bush took office. In Washington, an effort is underway by some members of Congress to pass a plan to reinstitute the draft. Supporters say it would help America defend itself in the war against terror, plus help bolster American forces both at home and abroad.
We're saying let's have everyone between the ages of 18 and 26 serve 2 years, no exceptions except for health or personal belief against war.
Meantime, critics say there's just no need for a draft. In fact, the Defense Department itself says reserves and the National Guard are enough to back up regular troops. They also say the war on terror can be won with superior intelligence, and there's no such need for extra manpower. Governor Schwarzenegger is likely to lose a few hands when asking Indian tribes to pay their fair share to help California's budget woes. Unlike during Gray Davis's tenure, most of the dozens of tribes may choose to talk individually this time around, but Schwarzenegger's got some tricks up his sleeve. His new negotiator may offer to lift the 2,000 slot machines per tribe limit in return for a share of profits. About a dozen tribes, including the 3 major Sacramento area casino tribes, want to expand their slot numbers. An Associated Press analysis of public records shows the California Department of Corrections continually underestimated the cost of housing prison inmates. In each of the last 5 years, prison officials asked the Department of Finance for extra money to cover costs. The state agreed to pay nearly 90% of the $1.5 billion in extra bills since 1999. Prison officials blamed the overspending on poor personnel management. Arizona's state prison complex Lewis is on lockdown tonight as negotiators continue to deal with a standoff involving inmates and prison guards. Prison officials say 2 inmates are holding 2 guards hostage, one of them a woman. Officials say an inmate overpowered a guard early this morning during breakfast preparations. He met up with another inmate in the prison yard and gained access to the officer's tower. The facility houses about 4,400 inmates, most of them convicted of felonies like manslaughter and aggravated assault. At least 20 people were killed and 65 others injured in a deadly bombing in Baghdad. The car bomb exploded near a U.S. military headquarters. Most of the victims were Iraqis. The area was crowded with military vehicles and hundreds of Iraqis waiting in line for security checks to get inside. One Iraqi driver said the force of the explosion sent his car into the air, landing a few hundred feet away.
I was driving this way towards the bridge when a car exploded. I felt my car going up in the air and landing again.
Most of the explosion was absorbed by blast barriers, protecting the headquarters from damage. U.S. officials are hoping a reward will provide them with clues about today's bombing. After a year in Iraq, 800 soldiers in the 101st Airborne Division have returned home. They're among the first wave of troops to return after completing one-year tours of defeating Saddam's army and fighting Iraqi rebels. Now they're looking forward to family, fast food, free time, and a break from each other, ready to forget Iraq for a while and rediscover what they were fighting to protect. Well, it's been a grim week for a West Sacramento family. 27-year-old Sergeant Keisha Hines was killed in Iraq while serving in the U.S. Army. She died Wednesday when she was struck by a vehicle at an airfield in Mosul. A memorial service has been set for Thursday morning at 11. It will be held at the Morgan Jones Mortuary in Sacramento. Hines' burial will follow at St. Mary's Cemetery in Sacramento. A local businessman from the Middle East is using his resources to bring relief to women and children of his native homeland. As our Aaron McAllister reports, he wants to help those in need get through a very cold winter.
Tony Abraham says it's his duty to help Afghani refugees, women and children, by keeping them warm.
We don't care. I mean, look at this one. This one can just cover one small little child, and she'd be so happy to be warm. And
what they really need now, Tony says, blankets and clothing. The successful businessman is collecting both items using his Sacramento furniture store, IMG, as a drop-off point for those who want to donate. In 2 weeks, he hopes to fill an Afghanistan-bound 747 with warmth for his homeland.
I came from the heart of the country, and I know what's going on over there, and I see refugees in Pakistan for 10 years.
It wasn't so long ago Tony fled Afghanistan to find a new life in America.
Got a pair of sneakers and jeans, $50 in my pocket. No speak English, no education, nothing.
But his luck would change, first with the stock market, then with real estate, then with Afghan rugs. Deciding to drive a U-Haul around the country selling them eventually made him a fortune.
It took Tony 10 years to become a millionaire here in the United States. His business has grown to more than 12 furniture stores, most of them in the Bay Area, and factories all across the world.
It's because I have so many stores and business, and I took the responsibility to do this job for these people. And I'm honored, I'm happy, it's my pleasure, it's my, being from Afghanistan and doing this thing. It's just, it has to be done. Somebody has to do it. So as an Afghan, I'm obligated to help my people.
In Sacramento, Aaron McAllister, KOVR-13 News.
And Tony Abraham is working closely with the Afghan Women's Association International. If you'd like to donate blankets, clothing, or money, you can contact them or go to Tony's store on Del Paso Boulevard. It's called the International Market Gallery. Well, tomorrow is the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, so some businesses will be closed. Federal, state, and city offices will be closed. Courts, banks, and post offices will be closed. Placer County offices will be open, but all other county offices will be closed. Garbage will be collected as usual. And that brings us to the question, what will the weather be like for the holiday? Some people have it off, some of the lucky ones, but what are they going to be met with?
Well, some of the people who do have it off, Marcy, I'll be looking at really nice conditions. Partly cloudy skies, tomorrow's highs in the upper 50s, and we're not going to see any rain, so that's the good news. Here's what it looks like around the California area. Here's a look at your travel weather for tomorrow, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The upper 50s for Eureka under partly cloudy conditions. Las Vegas, the upper 50s with the high of 59. 65 for San Diego. Really nice conditions in SoCal. Los Angeles, 67, and the upper 50s for Monterey. Tomorrow, we're still dealing with a lot of clouds here in the Sacramento area, so look for patchy fog developing after midnight. That will continue in the morning hours with patchy fog for Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto, with the morning lows dropping into the 40s. Sunrise will be at 7:21, but then after that, it'll burn off, and we're going to see the sunshine tomorrow. So we'll have more on the start of the workweek forecast coming up.
All right, thank you, Steph. We'll see you in a bit. And up next on KOVR 13 News at 11, a new mother gives birth to sextuplets, and they have 3 different birthdays. Also, junk mail revenge. See how one Northern California man is getting back at AOL.
Here in this part of LA, our community's been overlooked by a lot of organizations, but when Walmart came in, they let us know that they care. Walmart has revitalized this corner. They've moved into a building that had been empty for over 5 years. They've brought jobs to the community. They've given to a lot of the programs that help our youth.
They've brought a sense of respect back to the area.
Walmart has done so much for my community because they're here. We've got a new sense of hope.
Honey, the toilet's backed up again. Are you gonna fix it?
Yeah, I hear you.
Honey, it's really backing up.
Really backing up. I've got nothing else to do around here.
Wait, stop!
When things get really backed up at your house, call Rapid Rooter at 1-800-IT-FLOWS. Rapid Rooter.
XM satellite radio.
Find hotel.
Bluetooth wireless technology.
Dial.
And voice-activated navigation.
Do you need directions?
No thanks. I got them.
You were not alone. Introducing the all-new 270 horsepower Acura TL.
This program brought to you in part by Acura.
You probably get some type of junk mail every day, and there's a good chance it might include a promotional CD trying to get you to sign up for an internet service, most likely America Online. Ever stop to think how many of those AOL must send out? Well, one Northern California man knows. He collects them. Here's Jason Howe.
Welcome. Even if you're already a member of America Online, it's probably happened to you. You've got mail. We're not talking email. We're talking junk mail.
This represents maybe a week or two's mail.
You know, those AOL upgrade CDs you find in your mailbox. John Lieberman of El Cerrito gets thousands.
You collect junk mail? Yeah, this is kind of a strange hobby. It's a very specific type of junk mail, though.
See, he actually wants people to send him the discs they get from AOL.
You get people send boxes of them.
Indeed they do.
Brooklyn, New York.
From far.
Mexico, Brazil, Japan, Germany, France.
And why?
I actually know somebody who works in the Antarctic Research Station, and he swears that he's seen them down there.
Why, you ask? That's easy. Revenge. See, one day a few years ago, Lieberman and co-conspirator Jim McKenna went shopping, found an AOL CD in their bag, then to the movies. Got AOL CDs there. When Lieberman got home?
And I reached into my mailbox to get the mail, and wouldn't you know it, there's another AOL CD, so that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. I take a power saw and run it right down, so that kind of deprograms the CD pretty effectively.
And then he saves them.
So back here is what we refer to as the top secret storage facility. One of these garbage cans holds 5,000 CDs.
Currently at 260,000 CDs. The goal? 1 million.
And we're going to haul them back to AOL as sort of the biggest, ugliest petition you've ever seen to get them to stop sending CDs to people who don't want them.
You've got mail.
Times like this when you're sitting in a garage counting thousands of CDs that you think, is this the stupidest hobby in the world?
In El Cerrito. Goodbye. Jason Howe, KOVR 13 News.
Notice he didn't answer that. Well, America Online did not respond to our repeated phone calls. For more information on Lieberman's crusade, you can log on to nomoreaolcds.com. And up next on KOVR 13 News at 11, the outlook for the week ahead. Stephanie Nishikawa has forecast. But first, The Point with Mark Hyman.
He's not running in tomorrow's Iowa caucuses. He's not leading in the polls, and he's not viewed as a strong candidate. In fact, he's considered a spoiler. But all that aside, I find the candidacy of former Army General Wesley Clark to be very troubling. It's not just because I don't agree with his policy proposals. What really troubles me is his character. Now, it may sound odd that a West Point graduate, Rhodes Scholar, and retired four-star general would have a character flaw. But Clark has one big enough to drive a tank through. Clark's contemporaries, Army four-star generals Hugh Shelton and Tommy Franks, have openly criticized him. Clark's military career had an embarrassing end. He was fired from his last job and forced into retirement. Then chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Shelton, cited unspecified integrity and character issues as the reasons for Clark's dismissal. And Franks, hero of Operation Iraqi Freedom, said he would never vote for Clark. Last year, Clark predicted heavy American losses in Iraq, which never happened. The fact that he showed a lack of confidence in the very Army forces he once commanded is very troubling and very telling. His role in supporting the Branch Davidian Waco debacle in 1993 that resulted in nearly 80 deaths is still unclear. And he's flip-flopped numerous times on his policy positions and in explaining his past actions and prior statements. Presidents Nixon and Clinton are two who entered the White House with deeply flawed characters. We don't need another. And that's the point. I'm Mark Hyman. Log on to newscentral.tv and tell me what you think.
With just announced 0.9 60-month financing or $1,500 cash back, there's never been a better time to take a look at the powerful, stylish 2004 Nissan Altima. Wow! With 0.9 60-month financing or $1,500 cash back, the Altima's never been more attractive. Nissan Altima.
Chores always come first at our house. You have to work, and then you get to play. Oh, they're very active boys. Nick does tennis, and Philip does baseball. PlayStation 2 is how they relax.
PlayStation 2 is sweet. We bought the PlayStation 2 at Walmart. The graphics are amazing.
They can play DVDs or watch movies. I think the boys really enjoy the fact that they can play it a lot better than I can.
My mom's not good at all. Walmart has a lot of PlayStation 2 games, and at good prices.
Walmart, their dollars go a lot farther. Let's go.
I love playing the PlayStation 2, but I don't like doing chores.
I think it's very good. That's life.
Not all cars have what it takes to be an American icon. It takes performance with race car styling and a 260 horsepower V8. It takes value with 0% financing for 60 months or $3,000 cash back. It takes heritage, 40 years of ruling the road. That's the difference between the original pony car and the rest of the herd. Drive a Mustang today with 0% financing for 60 months or $3,000 cash back. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again at your local Ford store.
At Washington Mutual, we thought it would be nice if our friendly tellers could come to you. That's why we're developing the Teller Porter. We just put our tellers in a pod, and they go where you are.
Excuse me.
It's a work in progress. In the meantime, for great products and friendly tellers, go to one of our branches. Can we get the ladder here?
The Room Source is #1 in the Valley because of our great selection of famous name brands. We'll beat any price, any day. Our next day delivery. Buy it today and have it tomorrow. And our no-hassle money-back satisfaction guarantee. Never a cancellation or restocking fee. Save up to 50% off during our huge New Year's sale and get no money down and 0% interest till January 2006 with no minimum purchase. Look for our big insert in Sunday's newspaper. Don't miss it.
At the Room Source, of course.
KOVR 13 News, brought to you by The Room Source.
A Michigan woman has a claim no other mother can make. She delivered 6 babies over the course of 10 days. 26-year-old Amy Van Houten was pregnant with sextuplets and delivered the first baby back on January 10th. The other 5 weren't so eager to see the light of day. Come Friday and Saturday, though, Amy delivered the other 5 over an 11-hour period. That makes 6 babies with 3 different birthdays. Imagine being in labor for that long.
Oh.
There's a little thought for all you women out there.
I think she's done with having children now.
Probably. If not, she should be. Because now it's going to be planning those birthday parties. You know, how do you plan 6 birthday parties in a 10 or 11-day period? Interesting. Well, the weather has been interesting as well. We've been seeing some sun, but also some fog at night.
Yeah, we saw some really nice conditions today. We finally saw that sun peek out. Highs today reached the mid-50s. 53 as your official high for downtown Sacramento. And tomorrow, we're going to get about 5 degrees warmer. So that's the good news there. With the upper 50s, and those of you who have the day off, well, go for it. I'll be here. So will Marcy. Temperatures right now are dropping into the 40s, and that's what's going to stay for the morning hours. Right now in Sacramento, it's 43. Stockton, 40. Modesto, 43. Marysville, 43 degrees. The humidity at 97%, the dew point 42, winds coming from the south-southeast at 5, and the barometer's at 30.19 inches of mercury, and it's holding steady. Very nice shot there of the Capitol. Here's your travel highs if you're planning on heading out of the Golden State. 12 degrees, very cold. That's the high for Minneapolis, Minnesota tomorrow. 20 for Chicago, Illinois, and then we've got 32 for the Big Apple and 32 for our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Here's a look at our Pacific view. We don't have a whole lot going on. It's a pretty quiet pressure system here. Just bringing some clouds as we move out towards Southern California. We're going to see partly cloudy conditions, but here at home, well, we got a lot of that cloud cover, and that's going to continue for the morning hours with some patchy fog, but it should clear out by about 10 o'clock in the morning, and then we're going to go with partly cloudy conditions tomorrow. Here's a look at today's high, 53 degrees, normal for this time of the year, 55, and the weather team calling in with some pretty nice conditions, saying they pretty much saw the sun come out overall. And tomorrow it's going to look like a very nice day as well, with highs at 58 for downtown Sacramento, 58 for Folsom, the upper 50s for Roseville. Under partly cloudy conditions, winds coming from the northwest at 10 miles per hour, so a very light breeze. For the northern San Joaquin Valley, we're going to go with partly cloudy conditions, and highs tomorrow at 57 for Stockton, 56 for Manteca, patchy morning fog, and winds coming from the northwest at 10 miles per hour. The Gold Country tomorrow, mostly sunny conditions, really nice. 55 is your high for Placerville, 56 for Jackson, 57 for Sonora, and Georgetown, a high of 53. The High Country, no snow tomorrow, but nice conditions. Pretty cold, though, for the overnight lows as they drop into the teens. 44 around the lake, 43 for Truckee, and the upper 40s for Reno. North end of the valley, partly cloudy conditions tomorrow with some patchy morning fog. Highs tomorrow in the low 60s. Morning lows will drop into the upper 30s. And along the coast, look for some patchy morning fog. Highs in the upper 50s for the city. Along the bay, 61 for San Jose, 59 for Monterey. Tomorrow, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, high of 58, and then we're going to go with mostly sunny Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday, high of 53. I'd say it is a perfect time to wash that dirty car because we don't have to worry about rain for at least the next 5 days.
There you go. There's one fun thing to do. Look forward to. Thank you, Stephen. Up next on KOVR-13, everything set for Super Bowl 38. Jennifer Cryer wraps up the AFC and NFC championship football games when we return.
Asia, is it true that you're changing teams?
No, I'm not changing. I just joined the Good Feet team.
But why the Good Feet team, Tasia?
Because the Good Feet is the leader in art support, and my feet take a beating every game. It's good to be with the leader.
At the Good Feet store, we will custom fit you with the finest art supports to relieve your pain and better align your whole body for greater comfort, better posture, and support. Satisfaction guaranteed. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Modesto, and now in Roseville.
Everybody needs good feet.
Now's a man who faces any danger, throwing prices back for friend and stranger. He's the rollback man, he's the rollback man. He's changing all those best novels, lower prices are his game.
Our rollback mission, to save you even more. Walmart, always low prices. Always.
Why settle for what you might find in a home improvement store when the House of Style can help you achieve that truly individual custom look for much less than you might expect? We buy direct whenever possible to bring you the best values without compromising on quality. Our stone is mined from one source. We're able to achieve better consistency in stone color, grain, density, and quality. Discover a world of distinctive tiles, stones, and decorative accessories that can transform your home into a house of style.
Just how big should an SUV be? The Hyundai Santa Fe with America's best warranty. It's big on what matters and small where it counts.
This program brought to you in part by Hyundai.
Welcome back. You know, the beauty of sports is you never know what's going to happen. Take the Carolina Panthers. 2 years ago, they were the worst team in the league, going 1-15. Now they are on their way to the Super Bowl. I don't think a lot of people predicted this one. Let's head out to Philly, where they were taking on the Eagles. This, of course, was the Eagles' third straight trip to the NFC Championship. Now we're going to pick it up in the second quarter. Double coverage on Mushin Muhammad, and look at this. He jumps up, makes the catch, and it's 7-0 Panthers. Now, this would be the big play of this game. Donovan McNabb is sacked by Mike Rucker, and then he's hit late by Greg Favors. There's no penalty called on the play, and you see McNabb, he's hurt. He tore some cartilage in his ribs. After that, things went downhill for the Eagles. Third quarter, the Eagles are driving deep in Panthers territory, but McNabb is picked up by rookie Ricky Manning Jr. Manning had an NFC record-tying 3 interceptions today. You know, it looked like the Panthers just wanted this one more. Look at Deshaun Foster here, breaking 4 tackles to get into the end zone, and it's 14-3 Panthers. McNabb would leave this game in the fourth. Troy Detmer came in, drove the Eagles down to the 12, but then he's going to be picked off, and the Panthers are going to win this one 14-3. They now have their eyes set on the Patriots while the Eagles get ready for another long off season.
We're going to have to bring our A-plus game to go against the Patriots. We know that.
Too many people have been able to get to this point, and for us to get here 3 times and not be able to go further, it hurts. It hurts.
McNabb is obviously feeling pretty bad right now. You know who else is probably feeling pretty lousy? Peyton Manning. He was incredible in the first 2 playoff games. The Colts scored on all but 4 possessions. They never even had to punt the ball. But then again, they weren't facing a defense like the Patriots. Let's head out to Foxborough. The Colts and the Patriots playing for a shot at the Super Bowl. We're going to pick it up in the first quarter. First possession for the Patriots. Tom Brady looks to the end zone. He's got David Givens for the touchdown, and it's 7-0 Patriots. Now, it looks like the Colts were going to tie it up right here inside the 10. Manning throws to the end zone, and his pass is picked off. This would be one of 4 interceptions that he would throw today. 3 of his passes were picked off by this guy, Ty Law. Just a horrible throw here. That Patriot defense was just all over Manning today. They also sacked him 4 times in this game. Here's Jarvis Green taking him down. The Patriots would end up leading this one 15-0 at the half. To the third quarter now, the Colts are finally going to get on the board. There's Edgerrin James rumbling in for the touchdown, but the Colts still trail by 14 at the end of 3. To the fourth quarter now, Colts looking to rally back into this one. They've done it before. So here's another bad pass by Manning. Law's 3rd pick of the day. You know, Law caught just as many passes from Manning as the Colts' Marvin Harrison did. That's when you know you're not having a good day. Under 3 to go now, the Colts are still fighting. Manning throws. He's got Marcus Pollard for the touchdown, and the Colts are within 7, and they're going to get the ball back. This is every kid's dream, a huge game. You got the ball. You could be the next Joe Montana. But Manning is going to throw 4 incomplete passes, and it looks like they're done. But wait, are they going to get luckier? 1:15 to go. Tom Brady, 3rd down on the bootleg. He loses the ball, but they rule he was already down. The Patriots win 24-14, and they are heading to their 2nd Super Bowl in 3 years. After the game, Tom Brady gave a lot of credit not only to his teammates, but the fans there in Foxborough.
I tell you, the home field advantage we have here in Foxborough is unlike anywhere else in the league. And we've been to a lot of stadiums the last 4 years. And these fans are the reason why we are dominating at home. This team here hasn't finished its job yet. And we plan to go down there, like you said, bring back that Lombardi trophy because we earned it. And you earned it.
You know, we're all feeling bad because when you get to this point, you want to play well. And we didn't really give ourselves a chance to win. It was Peyton and a lot of guys.
I certainly would like to have done my job better today. I'm disappointed that I didn't. Very disappointed.
So again, the New England Patriots are heading back to the Super Bowl. They won it 2 years ago. It was quite a game. They were taking on the St. Louis Rams. It was tied at 17 with 5 seconds to go, and Adam Vinatieri is going to kick a 48-yard field goal to win the Super Bowl. Now, Teddy Bruschi, a local guy who was with the Patriots 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl, he's still with the team. There he is, number 54, a linebacker. He's played for the Patriots for 8 years. He went to Roseville High School. You can find pictures of him all over the walls there at that school. He's had a great year this year. The linebacker corps for the Patriots has had a lot of injuries, and he's kind of been the glue that's held them all together. Now, he did limp off the field at the end of this one. Looks like, though, he was just shaken up. Of course, we're going to have more on him coming up in the next couple of weeks. Now, you can see the Super Bowl right here on KOVR-13 2 weeks from today, February 1st. The Vegas books already had the Patriots as 7-point favorites. And one other note from the NFL, Dick Duron, the former Bears head coach, has found a new job. He's a new defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Duron was fired last month despite being named the NFL's Coach of the Year 2 years ago when the Bears went 13-3. Well, the Sacramento Kings play the Blazers on Tuesday at Arco, and man, Portland is in trouble. They were taking on the Suns tonight. And a big night for Joe Johnson. He scored 25 points, including this go-ahead rebound with putback with 18 seconds to go. Suns win this one 96-92. The Blazers have now lost 9 of 10, including 2 to Phoenix in a 5-day span. And hey, the Spurs finally won again. They had lost 3 in a row. They were in Boston taking on the Celtics today, and the Spurs were in complete control. Look at that nice pass along the perimeter inside to Tim Duncan for the big jam. Celtics defense almost non-existent in this one. There's Robert Horry with a two-handed dunk. Now, Rashawn Nesterovic had a huge game off the pick and roll there. He slams it home. He led the Spurs with 23 points and 13 boards. And San Antonio goes on to win 109-92. So the Super Bowl will be very good. The Patriots, tough defense. Carolina Panthers also have a great defense. So we'll probably see a lot of defense in the game. 2 weeks from today, right here. All right, thank you, Jen. And up next on KOVR-13, she's 122 years old and making history. We'll show you the newly discovered oldest person in the world.
Our son was born with liver disease. He had heart surgery when he was 3 months old, and he had his liver transplant when he was 7 months old. It's nice to know that I worked for a company that would take care of everything we went through with my son. You can think of the Mayo Clinic, you know. It's the best place they could have found. I don't think people know how great the benefits are at Walmart. Without Walmart, he wouldn't. I don't know that he'd made it. I don't know that we would have made it.
Had a car accident and paying for the repairs yourself? Head to Maaco. A recent blind test showed Maaco costs 33% less on average than other body shops, like this car. Almost $1,000 at other shops, under $700 at Maaco. And Maaco only takes a few days to make cars look like new again. For great work at prices that could be less than your deductible, better get Maaco, America's body shop.
Come on, baby.
Trying to save money? Come to Les Schwab. We're squeezing out the bargains on odds and ends, closeouts, special purchases. Plus, we're extending discounts by putting sale prices on some of our most popular tires, custom wheels, and batteries. It happens once a year. Bargain Days, now only at Les Schwab.
Introducing Subway's new Atkins-friendly wraps, like the savory chicken bacon ranch wrap and the turkey and bacon melt wrap. Packed with all the delicious taste you'd expect from Subway, but with under 11 net carbs. They'll help you satisfy your low-carb goals. As for your other goals, like avoiding your in-laws indefinitely, well, there you're on your own. The new Atkins-friendly wraps from Subway. Good, so you don't always have to be.
Buy with no money down, no interest, and no payments.
It's all free and clear for half a year.
Go now, Beck's biggest clearance of all.
It's wall-to-wall.
On-site emergency, this is Greg. Sir, I've got a signal that your airbag is deployed. I'm going to contact police and let them know where you are, okay?
This closed captioning sponsored by Sleep Train Mattress Centers. Your ticket to a better night's sleep.
Welcome back. A Chechen great-great-grandmother is believed to be not only the oldest woman, but the oldest person in the world. Her passport says she was born in 1881, which would make her 122 years old. The oldest documented woman in the Guinness Book of World Records was 113, and the oldest man was 116. She's lived long enough to see the birth of her 9 grandchildren, 18 great-grandchildren, and 7 great-great-grandchildren.
Wow.
And you have to say, she looks pretty good,
She
too.
does.
Amazing. That's going to do for now. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good night and a great week ahead.
This week on Eber and Roper, the movies that were